If I fall off this, who do I sue?
Don't fall.
All right, how we going, guys? Thanks for coming out and checking out the Mega Tourer. What's the reaction so far? What's everyone think? Have we done it again? Have we taken it to the next level? Well, I think we definitely have. Now, well, actually, last night I got a little bit not drunk. I got a little bit sentimental last night, and I called a few of the Patriot crew, and I booked them a flight for 7 o'clock this morning. They're all stuck on the runway with a delayed flight at Melbourne Airport, which kind of sucks. So the guys that have been responsible for this build, this is Patriot Campers now has turned into we're definitely not a one-man band. You know, this is the work of, you know, we're over 100 staff now, and this is the work of 100 people that are that dedicated to our business and our brand, and the suppliers that have been involved to build what I think is the ultimate four-wheel drive. You know, this has been a dream project for me for a long time, and it actually kind of started about a year ago when Jason from J-Max and I were up at the Cairns show, and I was looking at photos of the AMG 6x6, and we got talking, and I think for a week we were messaging back and forth, and Jason's like, mate, I think we can do this. I think we can make this happen. Now everything happened in America for Patriot Campers, so I spent a lot of time over there, and Jason's been developing the kit, and he's finally got it out. There's a few trucks now rolling around, so he's done all the R&D work on it, and now we've kind of just taken it on board and taken it to the next level. So I'm going to run you guys through the build and how it all kind of happened. I had to make a few notes because there's obviously a lot there. Now, Patriot Campers, we're probably most famous for our I suppose our sheet metal designs, coming up with new concepts of designs that we don't follow the norm. We never have built anything like anyone else ever has. 4 years ago, you know, I took my sheet metal shop and created a trailer for ourselves that was so left field, and it was never intended to be a commercial business. You know, it was just something I built for Sarah and I and our 3 kids, and that kind of took the world by storm. We've now won Camper Trailer of the Year 4 years in a row. We're going back for the 5th year this year, hopefully. We've launched the brand into the United States now, so we've got a dealer over there. And the Super Tourer started exactly the same way. I met Lem from Creative Conversions about 3 years ago. I ordered a 200 series from him, and while the 200 series was getting converted, I built a conventional steel tray, like any other sort of steel farm truck tray. The 200 turned up off the tow truck. I was that excited that afternoon. Me and a few of the boys stayed back till about midnight. We mounted the tray up onto the 200 series, and I stood back and looked at it and went, nope, not a chance. We're not doing it. And that's where the first Super Tourer kind of come from. So we spent the next sort of month designing a very similar tray to this out of all aluminium, utilising all the sheet metal stuff, all the equipment that we have, lasers and press brakes and all the rest of it. And if anybody has been following our story, you'll remember my silver 200 series, you know, and that really created the momentum for the Super Tourer range. Now, we got a lot of customers that started coming to us that didn't know how to build a truck, you know, or guys that didn't have time to figure out what components go with what. So we did all the R&D on it. We come up with a range from the suppliers of the gear that I use, and that's where we started the Super Tourers. About a year after that, I really wanted a 79, and we built the black truck. You know, I think most people here will know the black truck. It's actually over in America at the moment. It's going into SEMA. We're doing a big trip around Colorado with it in January, and that'll be on Patriot Games next year. And the 79 kind of kicked it off for us. Now, everybody, when I built that 79, I think the number one comment that we got was, that thing's for show. That thing will never see the dirt. Now, I think we proved in Patriot Games what we built that truck for and the capabilities of that truck. And that's where we really picked up the knowledge on how to build a 79 series. Yeah. We met a few more guys along that build. So obviously we've done the J-Max conversion. I teamed up with these guys over here from GSL. Best boys in the business as far as Land Cruisers go. I was always really hesitant on heavy modifications for a touring truck. These guys convinced me, you know, that they are reliable, and look, we've proved it. You know, that what we've put the black truck through, and we have not had one failure with that car at all. So we've taken this one here now to the next level. This truck here is capable of making around sort of 500 horsepower at the flywheel. We've got a bit of a problem with it at the moment with the 7A model now with the new fuel system in the Land Cruisers. We can't get the injectors that we need to get the fuel into the truck. Right now at the moment on the 37s it's making 237 kilowatts at the back wheels. This thing hauls ass and it is definitely capable of 350 kilowatts. These guys are doing it all day, every day with 16 model and previous 79s. So that's the type of power that we're aiming for to turn those big tyres and obviously the 6-wheel drive. Sorry guys. It's probably worth noting as well with the 6-wheel drive kit from J-Max, that is a kit out of the box now. You can buy that from J-Max through their distributors for the 6-wheel drive, and you can go up to a 6.2 tonne GVM on this kit here, which is pretty insane. I don't know what you do with the 6 tonne GVM, but you're capable of doing it. How the 6-wheel drive kit works, so we've got the factory diff centres in the front and rear. Obviously they're fully fabricated rear diff housings. So we've got the factory centre up the front, factory centre in the rear, we've got the factory electric lockers, and then your centre diff is running a Detroit soft locker. So we've got a true 6-wheel drive. We can lock in the front, lock in the rear, and obviously you've got the soft locker in the centre, so it's actually a true 6-wheel drive. We've got this one running on marked portals. Now the reason for the portals for me, there's obviously a couple of advantages with portal axles. Obviously your diff clearance, so you're getting an extra 4 inches under the diff, but the big one for us was the gear reduction to run the 37s. So to run 37-inch tyres, I mean, they rob a lot of power out of the truck. There's 2 options. You can change the gearing in your diff centres, or you go with the portals. So for us it was kind of a no-brainer. We get the best of both worlds. We get that reduction. If you run 35s with the portals with that reduction, it basically brings it back to running it on standard factory tyres. And the 37s aren't really that much different. We ran it up the highway the other day and we just clocked it off Sarah's car, not off the GPS, but the speedos, it's within a couple of Ks. So we've got to do a little bit of work there. The other thing that you get with the portals is obviously we get that big offset. So we're running around 150 millimetres wider track. You can see that at the front of the truck. The stability of this thing is absolutely unbelievable. Where it kind of all come to grips with the wider track is obviously we couldn't get a bull bar that'd fit because we couldn't cover the front guards. So we fabricated a sheet metal set of guards, teamed up with TJM, done a full custom one-off bar with a little bit of a different look. We've got integrated lights in the front of the bar, and we really wanted that sort of, you know, as you guys probably know, again, I've spent a lot of time in the States now, and I really wanted that sort of pre-runner style look, you know, something completely different. When we take it out for season 2 next year, we might end up putting a hoop bar on it, or we'll just leave it the way it is. We got no headlight protection, but I think the look of the truck at the front really compensates for that. What else we got there? Sorry, going back to the portals, mounted to the portals, we got a set of 6-pot brakes from WP Pro with 320mm rotors. WP Pro's a fairly new brand to Australia, but these are the guys that develop all the brakes for Porsche racing, and this thing stops like absolutely unbelievable. Not like a normal 79. We've also got a J-Max brake booster running those brakes as well. The paint's obviously a custom colour. It's a concrete grey, so we had the truck fully resprayed. We brought it into the factory. When we picked the truck up, we brought it back down to the factory, gutted it, sent it down to a good mate of mine on the Gold Coast, knows Bodyworks, and he painted in that full custom colour. We've done all in the engine bay. We've done it properly. We stripped the car back to nothing. You'll see on episode 12 of Patriot Games while the car was gutted, and after it come back from GSL, we done the biggest burnout I think you've ever seen in the 79 series, and we blew the back tyres out the back of the factory. So keep an eye out for that on episode 12. It's probably not the biggest burnout I've ever seen, because I saw your burnout last night that they done in their 79, and don't release that until after mine comes out. Don't make me look bad, dude. So yeah, it's, you know, we had a bit of fun there. So we got the car painted. Another one-off we've done with TJM on this one is we got a set of full remote res adjustable shocks. which is a first for TJM. So we're doing some prototyping with them. This is the product that they're planning on releasing to the market later on in the year, which is pretty exciting stuff, you know. They're a really good bit of gear. Haven't had the use on them yet that I need to, but from the limited amount of driving that I've done with it, it's worked out really well. Interior, we went to town on the interior as well. Black Napa leather. We've got obviously all the consoles in there, big stereo from Alpine, all the Red Arc gear. We got 4 batteries in there, 220 amp hour AGMs, 2 lithium batteries in there. For season 2 of Patriot Games, this will be my truck, charging all the camera gear and trying to keep all the power up is a big deal for us, especially when we're out remote. So we've got all the power in there that we need. What else we got? And the last thing on the back actually kind of happened by fluke. We built the truck, we got the tray on, we got the mini canopy on, and come out and had a look, and the deck looked a little bit empty. So I called my buddies down at Polaris, and they dropped me off one of these Polaris scramblers, which that thing there should not be legal, let me tell you. When we actually got it arrive at the factory, I pulled the thing out of the crate, and again you'll see this on episode 12 of Patriot Games. I pulled the thing out of the crate, drove it just out the roller door, stabbed it, front wheels up, flipped the bike in the driveway. You know, after that, I got a little bit excited, and we done a big burnout on that thing too. And I ended up, you know, spending the whole afternoon at Patriot Campers, just flying around the factory and wheel standing the thing through the production line, and that was really cool. A couple of people that obviously that we need to thank. TJM guys, thank you so much for having us down here on the stand. We actually had a discussion yesterday. We're going to take this thing around to the National 4x4 shows over the next 12 months around in every capital city. We're going to try and get to every capital city. We're definitely going into Sydney as well. So we want to show it off to the world before I go and beat up on it. You guys would have seen on Facebook, Mack Trucks lent me the big Mack Trident to bring the thing down. That's actually a funny story too. It was last Thursday afternoon, I think it was. We're in the factory and somebody mentioned, how are we getting this thing down to Melbourne? How are we going to put it on a trailer? Because it's not, we haven't done the engineering yet, so we're going to get this fully compliant and road legal in Australia. We've got to go and do some tests. And I kind of turn around and I don't know, how are we going to get it down to Melbourne? So I've actually got a mate who works at Mack. I gave him a call. He said, yep, no dramas, I've got a Trident. I'll send you the truck on Monday with the driver. I said, mate, nobody is driving that. I'm driving it. So I obviously got no licence. Jumped on the phone, started ringing around. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, went and done all of my lessons, got my licence. Monday went and picked the truck up, loaded it up. First time I've ever driven a Mack truck, rolled down to Melbourne. And me and Christian had an absolute ball. That's, you know, road tripping in a 20-ton Mack truck with a 6-wheeler on the back. The hype that we got on the way down here, you know, pulling into servos and people all wanted to see it. Obviously the internet exploded, so I think most people actually saw the truck before we revealed it yesterday. But that was pretty cool. That was very cool. Who else? Look, I've got to mention that obviously Patriot Campers is here as well. We've got a big, it's not all about the truck now. It's not like I've forgotten about, I'm going to talk over the top of him. It's not like I've forgotten about, you know, what we're doing up there. So Patriot Campers is all up there. Big thank you to my wife for letting me build something that's stupid. She never complains, just kind of lets me go, lets me do it. I hope everybody's as excited about it as we are, and all the suppliers that have been involved. I think we've proved what Australian manufacturing is all about. You know, the things that we can do here in this country. We're receiving massive international attention with most of the products that we're doing. But more importantly now, the trucks, the 79 series is very popular all around the world. I think you'll see a few of these things getting around. Keep an eye out for season 2 of Patriot Games. We've got some Patriot Games merch down there for sale as well. But season 2 of Patriot Games, this thing has not been built for show, let me assure you. We'll do some testing over the next couple of months, and then you'll see what this truck is actually capable of. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for coming out.